Okay everyone, here we are on the left hand side of the engine, where we've got the pinion timing here for the cam chain, and also the worm drive for the pump, the oil pump, which is behind here, with a shaft up then to the tacho drive, and then next to the oil pump here, in this cavity here above the oil pressure warning light switch, we've got a cavity here which is for a cartridge full flow filter. However, where we're going to focus today, or now, sorry, is back on the gearbox. We've already done a test fit now in previous episodes with respect to the inner cover, which is this one, but now what we're going to do is finish fitting this out. So first thing is, we've got a bearing to press in there, a ball bearing, that's for the main shaft, and then we've got a needle roller bearing open-ended to press in there, which is for the lay shaft. And then also we've got a spindle to press in here, and that's the kickstart stop, the kickstart gear stop, kickstart pinion. Well, it's not the kickstart pinion because it's on the kickstart shaft. The pinion actually goes on the end of the main shaft here. Once we've got the cover on, the inner cover on. So we've got a bit of work to do there to prepare that inner cover now for final fitment. And then we've also got the outer cover, and if we turn that over, then gets the right way up. We've got to finish fitting this out as well. So we've already got the clutch push rod mechanism here. I'm just thinking about that actually. Oh yeah, that's correct. So the clutch push rod mechanism here, the push rod's on this side. So when this turns upwards from the cable through this adjuster here, cable comes down to here, pull the cable, that raises this mechanism on its balls to press the push rod, which sits against that centre face there. So that's already installed, but what we've got then to do is to install obviously the gear selector, and which is here and goes through there. And we've also got the kickstart mechanism as well, but we've got to make sure that these two bearings are fitted properly. I think this one's, both of them are a little proud, I think, which might prevent us from pushing this case, the outer case, fully home. And that's about it. Oh, we've got one or two other pieces. We've got a spring spigot to fit as an interference fit into that hole there. So what we'll do is we'll crack on initially with the inner case. So we'll work sort of in to out. So we'll finish the inner case first. So we'll need to put a bit of heat on this and get these bearings in, and then we need to drill this hole out to make sure it's the absolute correct size for the kickstart stop as an interference fit. It does press in quite a long way into the other side. There we go, it's this hole here, so it's that hole there. So that's not a mounting screw hole for the outer cover. That's just to ensure that this stop, which is interference fit, actually pushes in a significant way just to leave this stop sticking out here. and in that way then you've got plenty of surface area to prevent this eventually sort of becoming loose through use, etc. So we'll get on with that first, and what we'll need to do initially is to heat this up and press these two bearings in, and we'll take it from there. So what I'm doing here is using a blowtorch to heat this, because I don't think we need too much heat. I've already managed to successfully insert, as you can see, the needle roller bearing. So we're just going for the big ball bearing now. If this proves a little difficult, we will employ the kitchen oven, but hopefully this will work anyway, and I'll bring you back when it's done. And there you go, a couple of minutes later, the bearing just pushed in very easily, and it's up against a stop in that case, so it can't go too far. It looks as though from this view that it's sunken in too far, but it's I can't turn this over just yet because it's hot, but there is a surface that it pushes into on the other side of the casting, so it can't go too far. So there we are. That was pretty straightforward, and the blowtorch was more than good enough to expand this casing enough to enable that to be pushed in relatively easily. And with it being a ball bearing rather than, if you like, a plain bush, then of course it doesn't need to be too much of an interference fit to prevent the outside from spinning, as long as the ball bearing is in good condition. So there we are, those two both in. So now we can think about the next step, which is to bore out this hole so it's an interference fit for the kickstart stop. At the moment it's far too small, so that's not been finished yet. So we'll get the micrometer out and we'll measure this spindle and make sure we choose an appropriate drill so that we've got a nice push interference fit for that. Okay, that's that inner cover done, I think. Main shaft bearing in, lay shaft bearing in, and the kickstart stop in, and does line up. It's recessed in on the other side, but that's okay. Still plenty of mating surfaces for that, and it's very tight in there. Interference fit, it's not going anywhere. So that's that one done. Next time we'll move on to this case, and we'll sorry, the outer cover, this cover, and we'll build that cover up. In this case, what we need to do is put the gear change mechanism in. So we'll do that on the next video. I'll stop that one there so we're not too long. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Slowly making good progress, and see you in the next video. Thanks again, everyone. Cheers.